Halo guys, balik lagi ke channel YouTube Autosound. Saya Suryadi. Nah, kali ini saya ada di acara Iasca International Jazz Training ya. Jadi ini regulasi baru, lagu baru dari Iasca, dari Assosiasi ini dari Amerika. Nah, sekarang saya bersama dengan Mr. Fred, itu salah satu trainer dari Amerika. Dia membawain training kita menjadi juri ya, internasional juri. Jadi apa-apa aja yang dinilai untuk kompetisi car audio ini. Nah, kita akan interview ya, menanyakan beberapa hal ya tentang Iasca di Indonesia. Halo Fred,
hello,
how are you?
Good. Nice seeing you again.
Yeah. Okay, I have a couple questions about the Iasca. The first, can you tell me the difference between the old Iasca and the new rules Iasca?
Well, the new rules Iasca, a couple of the biggest things and changes in it is we wanted to bring back some of the more modern music. We wanted to bring back music that's a little bit more relevant to what people are listening to these days as a whole. Not just the older style, call it the single mic acoustical style reference tracks.
Okay.
But we also wanted to give the judges a little bit of power to be able to actually start being a little bit more creative with the elements of music that they're more familiar with, music that they're more adapted with, that they could, well, score better.
Okay.
They can score more consistently.
Okay.
So, you know, where in the past we've had, you know, it's, you got to use this track, you got to use this section on this track in order to be able to judge. Now we give the judges the ability to say, here's all the music available. You choose the tracks that you are most familiar with. You choose the tracks that you are feeling most comfortable with for doing things like staging or imaging or ambience, tonality. At the end of the day, we want to make the judges, the judges' job easier, because the easier we make it for them, the more reliable, the more consistent, and well, the more fair it is for the for the competitors. So there's a lot of classification changes as well, because we want to make sure that we don't have seasoned competitors or people who have been competing for a long time staying in lower classes. The reality is, as a competitor, the longer you've been competing, the more experienced you are, you should be moving up in class.
Level up.
And, you level up. And the whole idea is we want to make it a fair place for newcomers. We want to make it some place where people don't necessarily have to compete with installation in the lower classes. They can focus on improving their skill in reproducing music and reproducing that live experience.
So it will be like more and more newcomer then.
It's definitely designed to be more newcomer friendly. And so, like say, novice class, straightforward and simple. You have 1 year, and after 1 year, you're moving up. If you win amateur, the first year, and you kill it, guess what? You're off to the next class. You have no business being in those lower classes consistently over and over and over again as a champion.
Yeah, so that means that's the winner will be changing all the time.
That's the idea. We want to keep it fresh, and if you're that good that you're winning all the time, well, maybe you belong in those upper classes. And that way, the competition will be stiffer. The competition will be better, and it over time will balance out the skill level of all the competitors to where it's like ranked matches now. And as a result now, you don't have to worry about people who are absolutely new, have never competed, having to compete against the guy that's been here for years on end. At the same time too, there's a lot of changes in the rules as well within those classes to be able to start looking at where the trends are in installations. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be all 100% custom, crazy installations. I mean, we love looking at them, but the reality is not a lot of customers can afford that either. And they've got to start someplace. But we think we have a much better scale than what we've had in the past. The divisions are much better classified. It's much better towards the ability of, one, creating that experienced tiering of these competitors, making it fairer, funner, and, well, more enjoyable for everybody in all
Okay, the second question is, how was the car audio in Indonesia compared to the other country? What do you think?
You know, Indonesia is always a great country to come to because, you know, car audio is still very much a lifestyle here. You know, where you have hobbyists in certain countries, you have some countries where it's just some shops competing and things like that. The nice part is there's a high and very wide diversity of competitors here in Indonesia. The passion for music is there. The passion to make music better is here. There's a striving desire to learn and to make music what it's supposed to be, and that's kind of the goal of what Iasca is about. There's a lot of great organizations out there. Iasca has been around for many, many, many years.
I heard there's 35 anniversary.
Yeah, 35 years this year is the anniversary. And so the idea is we're trying to bring back the spirit of what Iasca was about. We're trying to bring back, you know, this entirety, and that's what Indonesia is showing too. You know, we're seeing a heavy growth of competitors again in North America, and slowly but surely, Iasca will continue to grow, and you know, with luck, once again, be the true international association that people can resort to and have a very balanced but yet well-mediated organization that has contributions from all the different regions towards that final set of rules that we all compete by.
Okay. So the third one, how important the Iasca competition supporting the enthusiasm for the car audio in Indonesia?
You know, you walk into the shops and car audio competitions, you can tell not only is it a lifestyle, it's a passion, it's also a sales tool as well. When you walk in and stores are proudly representing with walls of trophies, you know, that's something that is to state that they're proud of their accomplishments and their skill level and their knowledge of what they've been able to achieve. There's a lot of trophies in a lot of shops. But that's a great thing because that shows a history of consistency and the passion for the sport. I honestly think for the high-end market and even the upper mid-fi market, competition absolutely drives the Indonesian market. And you know, honestly, I think it drives the competitors because whether they're shop-related or individual, the camaraderie between the competitors and the shops when it comes to the competition, although competitive in spirit, we're still all here back for the love of music, and I think that's something that shines very, very glowingly in this country.
Okay, the last question is, what's your plan for the future for the Iasca? Is there any like Iasca competition in Asia, something like that?
I mean, obviously the idea is each regional area will have continued competitions within the respective countries. I know from speaking with the agents for Indonesia and a couple other countries, there's now a unified Asia organization between Vietnam, China, Taiwan, and Indonesia. I'm sorry, Indonesia, Taiwan, Vietnam, and China. And so what they're doing is, I think the first one is going to be this year, where they're going to have judges coming from the other countries for like Indonesia finals. And in the finals in those countries, you know, Indonesian judges are going to go to be part of that. There is discussions about, you know, possibly a.
Are you gonna be a part of it?
That one, unfortunately, I've been traveling so much, but we are beginning discussions on a possible event for later next year. I don't want to go into a lot of details, but it kind of follows suit with a few things that we've done in North America, where we've been able to take away the separation between the organizations, take away the animosity or the conflict because of rules and different thoughts and stuff like that. We've had a lot of shows in the United States where we've had multiple organizations at one event, which serves a couple purposes. One, it helps form a unity between the organizations for the common goal of what we're trying to reach, which is competition and the spirit of competition in the music we produce. But considering the fact that, you know, in some cases there are competitors who have never been introduced to another organization, and maybe they might like it, maybe they might not. But what has happened is because we've been able to bring in competitors from organization A and B and C all under one roof, even though they're like competitors for A is there to compete with organization A. You know what? These guys are already here, so they get introduced to the other organizations as well. And so now we're having more and more multi-format events.
I think it's same circuit in here.
Yeah, and so that's something. Not only would I like to, see that start happening here, I'd also like to see more of an international conglomerate.
Yes, yes.
And that was something I had brought up to an idea because years ago at Iasca Finals, we had a true international sound challenge where they actually flew a judge from all of the key regions that Iasca had representation, and then every one of those judges from the different countries judged all these cars. So some of these cars got judged, it was like 10 or 12 times. And then what they did is they totaled all the scores together, divided it by the total number of judges, and that's how it won. What was great about it is it brought some of the cultural and geographic call it personalities in music. And even though each judge had their own style, their own sound they were looking for, it was great for these competitors in order to be able to get feedback from judges from around the world, ultimately helping bring back and bring up and emphasize a better overall goal, which is better music.
Yeah, I think this will be the new format, new idea.
I would love to see it, and if it comes to fruition, I will do my best to make sure, I'm part of it.
This will be more fun.
Exactly. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yep, thank you.
Oke, guys, sampai di sini dulu acara Iasca Training. Semoga bermanfaat buat kalian semua. Oke, guys, see you in another video. Bye.